Ni hali ya chokora uchokeigwa nyimbo mwaki nyimbo hoda.
Na hamasisho la kiroho. Usiachwe nyuma. Jiunge nasi kwa safari ya kufana katika 99.5 FM. Shoro FM.
Sawa.
Alex, kwani kuna shida?
Hata ni bahati dada alikuwa na accomplice.
Kwa hivyo babako ni muuaji. Next time usiniambie ujinga kama hauna evidence enough, sawa?
Na huu mkora Alex alimtoa wapi?
All I need ni pesa tu kiasi, niko chini.
Toka!
Alex, sasa ni nini?
Unajua hata kuna kitu nikotaka tuongee. Lakini
Jackie!
Laki naomba msamaha.
Ile kitu ningekufanyia wewe ungesahau.
Ni shetani.
na si umetaja hiyo jina sana. Na akikamapa utadu.
Sasa kuna deal imeivana hapa, deal ya gold.
Bado hujaniambia kwa nini umeniita hapa.
Niko na idea poa sana nataka kukuambia.
You know, there's one way we'll counter my uncle.
Which is?
Just get me pregnant, Alex.
Kai. Kamdingo kapienga.
Good morning indeed. You are tuned to KBC Channel 1 just in time for not only entertainment on Entertainment Thursday, but also bringing you up to speed the stories that have been making headlines in the last 12 hours or so. I'm Regina Manyara and the crew is set and ready. Mike and Vivian.
Good morning, Ray.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm well.
Yes. And also welcome to the program. My name is Mike Migu. A lot is in store for you, as is the norm on Thursday. Entertainment, interviews, just as getting into your personal space and making the morning worthwhile. And today one of the conversations we'll be focusing on is the film industry in Kenya. What is the progress? What are the challenges and opportunities? And more importantly, how have women fared in this industry, given that we are celebrating the International Women's Day on the 8th of this month? That is a conversation that will be happening right here on Entertainment Thursday, later on in the program. Good morning, Vivian.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Regina. And good morning to our DJ. It is a beautiful Thursday morning, the 6th of March. And as Mike has already mentioned, we are gearing up to International Women's Day, which is celebrated or will be celebrated on Saturday the 8th. And still in line with that, we'll also be having the Nairobi Women Orchestra in studio right here with me for entertainment. And they'll be playing for us some of the tunes they get to play. There's just something about the orchestra that just gives rich. So yes, we're about to get into some rich vibes. We'll also be having an urban gospel artist as well as Emmanuel Jal. Emmanuel Jal is from South Sudan and he will be playing for the first time in at Coachella. Yes, one of the biggest stages in the world. He will be here in studio to talk to us about that. And his viewers, you definitely want to stay tuned for that. And when it's Thursday, you know we are about to be entertained. When it comes to matters music, we are about to have a good time. And my DJ is here and ready to ensure that we get all of that. DJ Unique?
Yes.
Or Unique the DJ?
Unique the DJ, the best DJ.
Leo natupanga aje?
Leo program ni... I will start with new music, then still bado kuna segment ya old school.
Okay.
Kama kawa, kama dawa. So a lot of zimekuwa zikihappen during the weekend. I'm still shocked about the event here, Burna Boy, but we will be talking about that tukiendelea na show au sio?
Yeah.
Talking of new music, Bahati released a new song after amekuwa na mbwembe mingi sana karibia new song that's called Mimi na Wewe. It's a very new song. Kuna furthermore pia they have a new song now, the video the song Matopare, they have released a new song, video of the song. Otile Brown and Jovial, they have a new song. Very beautiful. I really love the combination of Jovial and Otile Brown. Wako na chemistry ingine fiti sana. So the moment wakirelease song, ni song ina hit, inakonga song ingine fiti sana. Kuna Darasa na Alikiba, they have a video of a new song. Steve Simple Ball, he has a new song also, inaitwa Sherehe. So as we continue with the show, I'll be sampling most of the songs zenye zimetolewa, new songs. So keep it locked.
All right,
Yes.
we will be getting into all of that immediately after the news. So Ray, just take it away.
Thank you very much. As we are gearing up to the International Women's Day, this year's theme is accelerating action. So we're talking about action and inclusivity there, especially for women in various cadres, including matters finance. And in not too long, we're going to be headed to the Nairobi Bourse. That's the Nairobi Stock Exchange, where we're going to be ringing the bell for gender equality. What does it mean to have more women trading in the Nairobi Stock Exchange? In not too long, we're going to be giving you updates from the Nairobi Bourse in regard to that matter. And about music, I'm happy that we're going to be having an orchestra. I want to know if they're also going to be, or how Kenyan orchestra music has come to the international limelight. We have seen the DRC Orchestra being one of the famous orchestras that we have in Africa. And if you love history when it comes to music, Vivian and Mike, you'd want to know that one of the iconic orchestras we have in the world is down in Vienna, and they used to play Mozart music. So as I said, this is refined music.
Exactly.
And I like what Vivian said.
It gives reach.
Elitist and gives rich vibes. All that is happening on Entertainment Thursday right here on KBC Channel 1. But before we get all too dancey and entertained, let's bring you up to speed with those stories that have been making headlines. And we start off with an update on matters health, where President William Ruto now says the Social Health Authority has paid 18.2 billion shillings as of January 31st this year, 4 months since its inception. The president, in a statement, said hospitals owed by the defunct NHIF below 10 million shillings in claims, which represent 91% of all facilities, will be paid in full. Facilities claiming over 10 million shillings will be subjected to a verification exercise that should be completed within the next 90 days, after which payments will be agreed upon. His sentiments come as Health Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Barasa steered clear of the alleged 104 billion shillings Social Health Authority system, saying the debate was on the matter was put to rest by the president.
A statement, President William Ruto announced the government's plan to clear the debts by the defunct National Health Insurance Fund, which stood at 33 billion shillings as of November 2024. The plan entails full payment of all hospitals with total claims of 10 million shillings and below in full, representing 91% of all facilities that were contracted by NHIF. However, hospitals with claims above 10 million shillings will have to wait a bit longer as a verification exercise is conducted. The head of state has, however, said that the exercise will be completed within 90 days, after which payments will be agreed upon. The verification committee will be gazetted by the Cabinet Secretary within a week. He said that under the Social Health Authority, current claims will continue to be paid within a month. The development comes as Health Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Barasa says the debate on the 104 billion shilling Social Health Authority system was put to rest by the President in his remarks on Tuesday.
I believe the President addressed that yesterday. Yes. The President addressed that yesterday. We are cognizant of the issues that were raised by the Auditor General. The Ministry clarified and substantiated each issue and provided the management report to the Auditor General. These issues have been comprehensively addressed by the accounting officer, who is PS, Medical Services, and again, they will be expounded more exhaustively in Parliament if given a chance.
The CS, however, assured the country that the new system will overcome the teeth and problems, and Kenyans will soon appreciate its outcomes.
Under this new system, facilities will receive funding based on verified data of services provided, ensuring fairness, efficiency, and accountability in how healthcare are distributed.
Please, Kenyans, when you do the entire journey, make sure that your spouse and your children are on the system, because you could be up to date in your payments, but if you have not onboarded your dependents, they will not be able to access the services.
CS maintained that data collected from Kenyans is safe. Meanwhile, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers wants the Social Health Authority Acting Chief Executive Officer Robert Ingasira and its chairman Dr. Mohamed Abdi out over alleged discrimination.
The only answer to SHA is by removing the management. They have gone against the law because the law says they empanel all health workers, not only doctors, not only clinic officers, not only nurses, all health workers. They have only empaneled the doctors only.
All these officers, who are the majority clinical practitioners in this country, were removed from practicing under the SHA, where they cannot give services to any patient who is registered under SHA. So that is limiting services.
The leaders who received the petition vowed to act, saying that some individuals were out to sabotage the healthcare of Kenyans.
We received your petition and quickly registered it because the week is moving very fast, so that we put it on the order paper and the program of the health committee.
Na mimi, in consultation with your official, I've already drafted a censure motion against the CEO of Social Health Authority. We don't have enough medical practitioners. Even those small hospitals, you have only clinical officer. So if you remove them from being part of the empowerment, then it destroys the access to universal health coverage. Na sisi hatutakubali.
What has been your experience, in as far as seeking medical services? Remember that the body that oversights, or rather encompasses private hospitals, has been on strike, and I think this is week 2, even as government pledges to pay the pending bills in regard to that matter. We are open to your feedback. Get us on X at KBC Channel 1. Now, 2 police vehicles were torched and the chief's office vandalized in Majengo estate as police crashed with irate protesters. I don't know what's happening this morning, but yeah, a pardon for that over a fatal shooting of a 17-year-old boy on Tuesday night. Police say the boy was being pursued by officers on suspicion he was transporting bang when an angry mob intervened, forcing the police to open fire, shooting him during the melee. Human rights activists have condemned the incident.
These were the scenes in Majengo Estate on Wednesday morning. Smoke from torch police vehicles could be seen from a distance as the protest burned down to police vehicles and police houses before vandalizing the chief's office. The chaos forced police to lob tear gas canisters to disperse the irate crowd.
Alhamdulillah, Mama. Baba, Mungu akupe shufaa.
According to the family of the deceased, their kin was shot while heading home after attending prayers in a nearby mosque.
Ikawa na shoot, akashutiwa kwanza, wa pili, wa tatu. Wanne ni Ibrahim akashutiwa kichwa. Alikuwa na shoot mwingine, huyo akamuona akalala, ikakuja imempata, ndio Muksara akasema, Ibrahim ulikuwa nyuma yangu. Sasa mimi niko hapo hivyo nimeketi, ninaendelea tu na shughuli. Mtoto mdogo ndiye alikuja akasema, "Ma, ni Ibrahim."
He was later pronounced dead at Kenyatta National Hospital. However, in a rejoinder, police say the boy was being pursued by 2 undercover officers as he was believed to be transporting a bag with bang when a mob of youths intervened, forcing the police to open fire, leading to his fatal shooting. The shooting has since received condemnation from human rights activists. This comes as the body of an unidentified man was found lying in an alley in Shaurimoyo, allegedly with a knife wound. Police say preliminary investigations show his death is not related to the protests.
And the question is, should our police officers or rather security apparatus use live bullets to quell riots and unruly crowds? What's your take? Now, Catholic faithful across the country converged in their respective places of worship to mark the beginning of the 40 days of Lent. Now, the season that mainly emphasizes repentance, prayer, and almsgiving starts with Ash Wednesday. In Nairobi County, faithfuls converged at the Holy Family Basilica with Father Boniface Mboro inviting the congregation to embrace a spiritual journey of repentance and renewal. Here's a story by John Kahiro.
Wednesday at the Holy Family Basilica in Nairobi, Catholic faithful thronged at the church to celebrate the Ash Wednesday, a moment that, according to the Catholic Church liturgical calendar, ushers in the Lent season. The usual merriment and vibrant atmosphere at the Basilica was today replaced by a solemn mass as the congregation took the moment to reflect on their faith. The clergy leading the service administering ashes in the shape of a cross on the foreheads of the faithful, a symbol of human mortality and a call for penance and repentance. Presiding over the Holy Eucharistic celebration, Father Boniface Mboro urged the congregation to stay away from sin and embrace giving alms to the less fortunate in the society.
Leo kwa njia ya kipekee tuakumbushwa the ugliness of sin. Hayo majivu ambayo hatuyatakangi in the normal circumstances, hiyo ndiyo ambayo tunayopakwa siku ya leo. Tunapowasaidia wale ambao ni wanyonge, wale ambao wasiojiweza, si lazima mkono wako wa kushoto ujue vile ambavyo mkono wako wa kulia umefanya.
I'm going there with a lot of peace and my relationship with God feels renewed.
Now, with Ash Wednesday, their Christian faithfuls join their Muslim brothers and sisters who are also marking the holy month of Ramadan. Let's remember to be repentful, or rather repentant, and also, good to your brother. The person next to you does not need to be related to you by blood, but help where you can. Now, a report by the Controller of Budget, Dr. Margaret Nyakango, reveals counties prioritized foreign trips and sitting allowances over the delivery of services and development. In the latest county government budget review report, for the first half of the financial year 2024-2025, county assemblies spent 37% of their total allocated budget on MCA's sitting allowances, higher than the approved budget of 35%. Uasin Gishu County's MCAs each pocketed a whopping 130,169 shillings per sitting, while Nairobi County topped the list of the highest spenders after 138 City Hall officials each pocketed 368 million shillings on 20 domestic and foreign trips.
It is not taken to the consolidated fund, is it? No, it is one of those funds that are outside the purview of the control of budget.
The Controller of Budget, Dr. Margaret Nyakango, has yet again unearthed what appears to be loss and wastage of public funds at the county level. In the latest county government budget review report for the first half of the financial year 2024-2025, county assemblies are on the spot for spending 722.89 million shillings on MCA sitting allowances, surpassing the ceiling. The report shows 44 ward representatives from Uasin Gishu County each pocketed a staggering 130,169 shillings per sitting, costing the taxpayers 17.18 million shillings. 18 MCAs from Isiolo County received a whopping 124,981 shillings per sitting, totaling to 6.75 million shillings. Machakos County ward reps were not left behind, as 61 MCAs each pocketed 116,716 shillings. Other counties on the list of heavy spenders are Homa Bay, Kitui and Nyamira counties. The capital city, Nairobi, topped the charts in travel, with the Johnson Sakaja-led county taking a total of 20 trips abroad, which included 5 by the executive and 15 by the county assembly. 138 officers from City Hall traveled to Singapore, Turkey, Tanzania, Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, Washington, D.C., Uganda and South Africa. The trip saw the taxpayer cough at least 368 million shillings. In Nakuru County, 48 officers from the county assembly made 9 foreign trips to London, Singapore, Tanzania, Dubai and Turkey for 152 million shillings. Other counties on the spot are Nyeri, Nandi and Elgeyo Marakwet. The Control of Budget has also expressed concerns that 50% of counties are using manual payrolls, prone to abuse and could lead to the loss of public funds if proper controls are lacking. Other issues raised by the Control of Budget are the outstanding pending bills of 180.52 billion shillings, comprising of 143.49 billion shillings for recurrent activities and 37.03 billion shillings for development activities. The counties with the highest spending bills included Nairobi City at 118.26 billion, Kiambu at 5.63 billion, Machakos at 5.07 billion, Mombasa at 3.72 billion, and Bungoma at 2.83 billion. The 733-page report also revealed minimal development in some counties despite funds being availed by Treasury, namely Elgeyo Marakwet, Lamu, Nakuru and Kitui each spent 5% on development, while Taita Taveta, Kisumu, Nairobi City and Nyeri County each at 6%, Baringo and Tana River at 7%. The Control of Budget has urged Parliament, the county government and the National Treasury to implement the recommendations outlined in the report.
We're going to take a lunch break, maybe for 45 minutes.
Do not lie. So if we look at that particular report by the Controller of Budget, according to that particular report, Nairobi County alone owes 118 point something billion shillings in pending bills, yet 138 City Hall officials pocketed each 368 million shillings on 20 domestic and foreign trips. Quick mathematics, this indicates that between in the financial year 2024-2025, Nairobi County officials in those trips spent a whopping 50.7 billion shillings. And only 6% of the allocated budget went to development. Ponder on that. Now, financial inclusion has been cited as a key element in achieving long-term economic independence for persons with disabilities. Experts in the sector say that an inclusive financial system affords PWDs an equal opportunity to thrive. They made the remarks at a forum in Nairobi that brought together the International Commission for Jurists, ICJ, and the United Disabled Persons of Kenya.
In a world striving for equal opportunities, PWDs continue to face challenges in accessing financial services.
We've come together as persons with disabilities, persons with different types of disabilities, to discuss the experiences that we have had with different banks, local banks, while accessing financial services.
Lack of accessible banking infrastructure was mentioned as the biggest barrier.
I was in a certain bank ATM, and since it was high, the ATM card was swallowed. Now I had to follow up to get another ATM card. And the person I found, she asked me, why have this card and you are unable to use it?
While progress is being made with some institutions incorporating voice assistants, digital wallets and accessible customer service options, more work needs to be done.
You know, one of the key areas that for us we are really advocating for and cannot stress enough is the fact that, you know, financial institutions need to recognize reasonable accommodation as a right to including persons with diverse disabilities in terms of how they deliver their services and even offer financial products to persons with disabilities.
Experts say financial inclusion is not just about accessibility, but also fostering long-term economic independence for PWDs.
We cross over to business, where the future of the cash-strapped National Oil Corporation of Kenya now remains uncertain, with the National Assembly calling for the disbursement of the state agency. The decades-old upstream and downstream company has been in the red for the last 5 years, unable to pay workers and meet its financial obligations. The once cash flush parastatal is on the verge of collapse unless the government intervenes.
When Parliament established the National Oil Corporation in 1981 through an Act of Parliament, the vision was to have a government parastatal that handles strategic reserves of oil and gas and stabilize the market. But the vision now appears dim for cash-strapped National Oil Corporation. Appearing before the National Assembly Energy Committee, the State Department of Petroleum submitted National Oil Corporation was facing cash flow woes and was unable to pay employees' salaries for 3 months. The State Department admitted it had relocated at least 350 million shillings to National Oil Corporation from the Petroleum Development Fund so that employees can get paid this month.
I am told even UNOC, the sister company, the sister in Uganda, came to Kenya to benchmark with Kenya, and now UNOC, Kenya should go to UNOC to benchmark now.
MPs queried the viability of sustaining the corporation, yet it was no longer profitable.
I think we have been having a discussion in this meeting several times on the sustainability of NOC, as to whether it is time now to disband NOC. But in a situation where NOC cannot even pay salaries for workers for 3 months, is it worth having this entity?
While some members call for disbandment of the corporation, others claim there is a plot to cripple the oil marketer.
The ministry policy has not really been pushing NOC on the side of being on the side of strategic reserve. Because if that was the case, the equipment that has been inherited by KPC, that is KPRL, then KPRL would have actually gone to NOC so that we have those assets for storage.
The National Oil Corporation is now seeking a strategic partner to enhance its market share and operations.
To housing, the government says no homeowner will lose their house acquired through the Affordable Housing Program as a result of land repossession. Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome says the ministry has formed a committee that includes the National Land Commission to deal with all processes related to land settlement where affordable housing projects are being undertaken. Alan Oko with the details.
A report by the Auditor General released last month said that land ownership documents for affordable housing projects valued at close to 50 billion shillings were unavailable during the audit period. The report had warned that without records, it remains unclear whether proper land ownership structures are in place to facilitate the issuance of titles to homeowners. But the government says it can account for all the land set aside for the affordable housing projects.
I want to assure Kenyans that through the Affordable Housing Program, we are using public land for purposes of construction, and all processes that are necessary to regularize or to legitimize or to ensure that what we have done with the public land is done within the law.
Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome says there is no need for alarm, saying the whole process is being done above board.
So we have clarified. The fear is that this land may not be available. I am the minister also for lands, and I have already put in place a technical team to streamline and deal with any technical issue that may arise for moving the land from public to individuals who will have become beneficiaries of the housing units that they will buy.
Speaking during an investor meeting for the upcoming multi-billion shillings Stony Earthy waterfront in Machakos County, National Housing Corporation Managing Director David Modho said the project will be undertaken through the public-private partnership.
It's in this light then that we intend to utilize the balance of our land at Stony Earthy
which is around 135 acres. Initially, we'll carve out the initial 23 acres of land. We will enter into a PPP arrangement to develop about 2,820 housing units in form of apartments, high-rise apartments.
And even Vihiga, we're putting up in Vihiga, the government is putting Vihiga and the Kakamega. We want every account to be like that, so everybody is a Kenyan, those youngsters, even the teachers and so on, they can have houses.
The Land CS has also announced the first batch of 4,888 units under the affordable houses will be offloaded to the market in April this year.
This is one of the trending stories on social media, with Kenyans questioning the viability of this particular project, especially when it comes to the feasibility study that the government undertook before we got this program started. Remember, you also can be part of this conversation. Get us on X at KBC Channel 1. To sports, where now World Athletics President Sebastian Coe believes that athletics and sports in general can be used to raise awareness on the challenge the world is facing on gender-based violence. Coe met with Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Honorable Salim Vuria, yesterday to discuss both the gender-based violence menace in the sports and world and also the fight against doping, as the World Athletics continues to encourage running clean among athletes.
We wanted to discuss two key areas. One was the ongoing fight in the anti-doping space, which the Kenyan government have been so supportive of all our efforts. And the second key area, and the very prominent challenge around gender-based violence, not entirely or uniquely linked to sport, but I think the recognition that we can use sport as a way of raising the profile of this challenge, particularly in the wake of the awful events so recently involving the sport of athletics. And so I'm delighted to be here to look at the ongoing work, to support the work of the Kenyan government in this space through our efforts at World Athletics with e-learning and making sure that our education programs, our work around safe space and safeguarding is completely in alignment with the very good work that is now being undertaken by the Kenyan government.
The Kenya government has rolled out a gender-based violent effort in sports. And right now we have a whole secretariat headed by a CEO who have made a lot of progress, in identifying key areas that we need to work together to ensure that we protect women on matters sports, so that we don't have gender-based violence on matters sports. We have been reviewing also legislation, and we'll soon be coming up with a policy that is going to provide guidance, as a critical foundation, to ensure that we inculcate gender-based violence preventive practices in the sports fraternity.
That puts a cap on Matters News. We usher in Entertainment Thursday. Do keep it right here. I'm Regina Manyara. Have a great day ahead.
Tossing, just to put our order like a copy.
Yes. So this is how we do it each and every Thursday right here on Good Morning Kenya. Entertainment Thursday is the whole plan. And this is where you get your entertainment fix. Do not touch that dial. We are about to have an amazing show. My DJ, as you can see, is ready to just ensure that we have our dancing shoes on throughout the entire show. Let us begin with our first interview of the day. And I am joined joined by one Paul Fortune. Now, Paul Fortune is a recording and performing, he calls himself multi-genre gospel artist, singer and songwriter. Paul?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm so fine. How about you?
I'm doing all right. For those who are seeing you for the very first time, kindly introduce yourself to them.
Okay, my name is Paul Fortune. I'm a multi-genre gospel artist. I'm a Christian, I'm saved, and I love Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You know, when someone says multi-genre gospel artist, you felt the need to put that there because you do all kinds of genres, but gospel still in the gospel. Kindly
gospel
just
music.
explain further on that.
Okay, so I can do any style. I can rap, I can sing. Yeah, generally naweza fanya tu kila kitu. That's why I've named it multi-genre gospel artist.
Yeah, so you're versatile. You're a versatile artist.
Yeah, sure.
What came first, the rapping or the singing?
I think singing, singing. Nilianza kuimba nikiwa mdogo sana.
Yeah.
So I used to love singing, then it came to rapping, then nikakuwa versatile.
And you decided I won't box myself.
Yeah.
I won't just pick on one and work with that. I'll do, you know, either of the two.
Yeah, you decided I'll go with all of them. Yeah.
All right. So now you had taken a break.
Yeah, sure.
You know, you had taken a hiatus for a while. Kindly tell me about that. What made you decide, okay, I'm going to take a break a bit before I get back to the music scene?
Okay, I took a break way back after I lost my dad.
Okay.
I took a break, but then I bounced back, and right now I'm fully back. I'm doing music back to back.
Sorry about the loss of your dad.
Yeah.
So now, when you talk about the gospel industry, you have been doing this for the last probably 5 years?
Yeah, sure.
5 years. How would you describe your journey so far?
Okay, the music journey has been awesome. Although there are challenges, kuna panda shuka lazima. But I trust the process, I love the process. It's been awesome. I can't complain. Yeah, hard work, focus. I got this. Yeah.
I love that. Now, with your outlook, just how, you know, your dress code with your dreadlocks and all that, would you say that that at some point came in as a challenge for you in, you know, branding yourself as a gospel artist? I know we are living in modern times, but I believe back then it used to be an issue, especially in some churches, you know, watu wangeshanga sasa huyu, you know, ni mfano gani. So did you experience, or do you ever get to experience that kind of judgment?
Yeah, people have opinions. I receive judgments, but again, I don't take it so personally because I believe in whatever I'm doing. I love whatever I'm doing. So I don't look at the looks. I look at the heart and whatever I'm working towards. So personally, siamini ati you can judge someone by the looks. It depends. And pia God angali vile mtu anavaa. It's the character and whatever you're doing.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hii mambo ya kujaji watu ni mambo ya kitambo. Tuliachana. Ni mambo tuliachana na.
So their comments really don't get to you ever?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you don't allow it to get to you.
Yeah. Just do my thing and focus on my stuff. Mambo mengine tunawachana na. Yeah.
All right, so the song that we would say most people got to know you with is Commando.
Yes, Commando.
Tell me about the song Commando, and I believe the DJ has it. So as you talk about it, he'll, you know, get to play it for us. So tell me about it.
Okay, so Commando is a song I did with my friends. One from the US is called Lyrical Stitch. And another artist from Leziki Band is called Ramsey. So this is a song I wrote way back in, I guess, 2021.
Yeah.
So we just met at Producer Sean Studio, Champions Music, bigger Producer Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did the song. I didn't expect the song to blow up like
the way you did.
Expect, yeah. So hata iku blow up na video. It was just an audio visual. And it was nominated in the Global Music Awards
Africa.
Yeah, Africa.
Yeah.
And I thank God for that. It paved way for better things. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
must have been a really huge thing for you, you know.
Yeah, sure.
You know, even it's getting nominated in such an awarding
platform,
initiative,
yeah.
you know, that's such a big one.
Mm.
So yeah, kudos to you on that. DJ, can
Thank
we
you.
play? Okay, as the DJ sorts that out, probably, you know, we can just get through your process of making music. You know, when you're down to, when you've decided, okay, I want to write today, just take me through that process. How does it look like?
Okay, writing music.
Why did you giggle first?
Okay, writing music. I don't know how other artists do write music, but personally, I might be sitting with you here and you're just speaking and you just give me an idea. And I just think about the idea and the melodies. Then I flow to now and then I record it with my phone. Then maybe I proceed writing it down later. So that's what happens.
Yeah.
I might be even in town, I'm just walking and I see something and it inspires me and I'm like, I can write something out of this. Then I just craft it. A sample, then later I proceed and do the whole song.
Okay, so
Yeah.
your writing is normally inspired by your everyday life
Yeah,
and
sure.
anything and everything,
Yeah,
really.
the lifestyle, yeah.
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 All right. There's this other song. It's called. I believe your newest project. You Complete Me.
You Complete Me was my previous, then I have another
You
new
have
one.
a new one now.
Yeah.
Talk to me about You Complete Me.
Okay, You Complete Me is a song I featured Cirillo Anthemist and Jimmy the Artist. Big up to them. They're one of my friends and they're good gospel artists. So You Complete Me is a song that I was just inspiring people. I was just telling people that you can do everything when God is in place. Like without God, you cannot do anything. Like I'm complete when God is there. But bila Mungu bana haiwezi. Haiwezi
Imekataa,
kabisa.
yani.
Imekataa.
Unique, you ready? Play for us, Commando.
More and more kuliko zile bamba za kolimo, so kwa maombi na call him more, kwako niko full sina vipimo. Hey, kwake mimles kamea, akinipalilia nitemea, nishike mkono nisianguke, wendo wangu wengine si watanipenda, na si mapenzi ya utani. Amini memba anaye Yesu, mimi nacheki kalenda, ana come through someday, na kazi yangu kwake ni kumba. Komando, komando, shetani weka kando, kando. Mungu Baba ndio komando, komando, shetani weka kando, kando. Yeah, komando, Yesu ndiye komando. Yeah, komando, Yesu ndiye komando. Yes, they calling me Fortune Gospel Genius, Salta Tenors, Runner Bass, it's a Fortunes. Habari mtaani zinasema vipi? Kwani hawezi tambulika? Msalabani alidedi nipate uzimama, tikitaka ndo tupeane baraka. Uko hapa hapo pale tena hapa, yeah. Kwako mimi siondoki, kila siku komando mando na ni hando na bado nitasimama. Shetani weka kando kando, ana mambo neno washa kama kando. Baba ndio komando, komando, shetani weka kando, kando. Mungu Baba ndio komando, komando, shetani weka kando, kando. Yeah, komando, Yesu ndiye komando. Yeah, komando, Yesu ndiye komando.
Was a bad man king, badder than Billy Tender, me bad man king, was a bad man king, badder than Billy Tender, me bad.
Yes, and that is the song Commando by the one and only Fortune. We can tell why it got nominated for the award, because it's actually it's a good song. It's a really good song. Now, as we wind up, I want you to talk to me about your newest release.
Okay, my new project is called Nishike. So Nishike, I wrote it in 2018.
Okay, 2018.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then after I lost my dad and someone held my hand, I decided to, okay, nilikuwa na changamoto kidogo, but then when I bounced back, I decided I'm going to do whatever someone did to me. So I came up with my own foundation. It's a registered locally and internationally organization. It's an initiative to give back to the society.
Okay.
The needy, like just doing charity stuff and just giving back. So Nishike is a song I wrote. It's related to like, I'm telling God to hold me or to hold on me. Yeah, so Nishike is just a song niliandika based on the foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
When did you release the song?
I released it like about 14 days ago.
So it's brand new.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Brand new.
Yeah.
So for those who haven't gotten the chance to get to listen to it, where can they get to listen into it?
Okay, Nishike is out on all digital platforms. YouTube at Paul Fortune Music. You can get to my socials, Instagram, Facebook, and all other socials. Paul Fortune Music, Paul Fortune Foundation.
Yeah, that's a really good initiative. So as we finish, I would allow you to let people know where to find you, particularly on social media, and then to Cheze Nishike as the DJ takes it away.
Yeah, so on social media, like I've just said, I Paul Fortune.
Okay.
Then for the foundation, it's Paul Fortune Foundation. Then before I forget, we have our new merchandise. Yeah, we have our new merchandise. You can follow us on our socials and you'll be updated with everything. Yeah.
All right, Nishike.
Yeah, so Nishike, let's go, DJ.
Entertainment Thursday right here on Good Morning Kenya, and the amazing ladies and two gentlemen that you have gotten to see on set are known as the Almasi Chorale. They will be coming back after the interview that is coming up right now. We're going to be enjoying their music in a bit, so don't you go too far. Right now we're going to be joined by the CEO Kenya Film Commission, that is Mr. Timothy Owarse. But before we get into that interview, maybe we can just get to enjoy one song from you, just one song. All right, let's do that. That is the Almasi Chorale. Take it away.
Ushi mama awoye waya mahana batoro inabidele nelule batoro hawaii wo ushibula naniko mama awoye waya mahana batoro mama awoye waya mahana batoro mama awoye waya mahana batoro Batoro, awali wa ushibula naliko, mama awali ewa ya mahana batoro, nevidele, nelule, nelule, oh batoro, awali wa ushibula naliko, mama awali ewa ya mahana batoro, nelule tidididu, nelule tidididu, nelule tidididu, nelule tidididu, nelule tidididu, nelule tidididu. Katinde mwana muhana katinde narangarani katinde kurile katinde narangarani katinde kurile katinde narangarani katinde narangarani moja kwa moja narangarani narangarani watatu narangarani narangarani katinde katinde narangarani katinde muhazanga katinde narangarani katinde katinde narangarani katinde narangarani katinde muri mumeta katinde narangarani katinde narangarani katinde narangarani katinde narangarani mina moja narangarani narangarani mina tatu narangarani narangarani katinde
Our one and only aim is to keep you entertained on Entertainment Thursday. This is how we do it. DJ Ako on another level. But before we get back to that, let's have our second conversation. We are talking about the film industry within the country. What is the progress? What are the challenges? And what are the opportunities? And how have women fared in this industry so far? That is a conversation that is happening right now on Entertainment Thursday. And I'm joined by Timothy Owase, who is the CEO Kenya Film Commission. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And also Sandra Ruongo, who is a photojournalist, award-winning filmmaker and writer. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
And also Caroline Ncharo, who is a senior assistant chief and anti-FGM and early child marriage crusader. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Let's get into the conversation, and I want to start with you, CEO. Just briefly tell us about the status or the state of the Kenya film industry as of now.
Thank you very much. To start us off, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all women as we gear up to the celebration of International Women's Day, which is coming up on the 8th. Of course, above that, I want also to take this opportunity to appreciate the space or the role of the film industry in Kenya. When we talk about the film industry, we look at Kenya Film Commission as a state corporation responsible for promotion, development, and marketing Kenya as a filming destination. When we look at the state of film industry in Kenya, I must say that it's a growing industry. It's an industry that each and every one of us wants to be. Most young people want to be part of the storytelling, and storytelling not just to entertain the populace, but being part of the storytelling because it's an opportunity to create employment, wealth, and also to champion social well-being within our society. So this is a growing space.
Yes. Let me come to you. You're a senior chief, and
Yes.
this is an achievement that has not come easy for you. How has it been getting into leadership in an area where it's quote-unquote male-dominated and in a society that is somewhat patriarchal?
Let me say first, breaking the ceiling was not that easy.
Yes.
As a woman from my community, being a chief, I'm the first one in Kajiado, let me say Kajiado Central, to become a chief in 2001. I fought for it, and after fighting and sensitizing, educating my community about the right of a girl child, I won an award in International Justice Mission as a champion of justice. At the time, I also went for an interview of an assistant chief. It took me 3 years to be accepted to be an assistant chief because of the odds of the community. It was not easy. Wanaume waliandamana, hawataki mwanamke, but all in all, the government was on my side. Yeah.
So in a way, it has changed the perception in terms of how women leadership is currently.
After being appointed, till date, we have already 13 women in position.
Wow.
Women chief.
And that is an impact after your efforts.
Sure.
Yes. We'll come back to the fact that you are in a film called Strong Woman and Tomononi Nagol.
Yes.
I hope I've said it right. Yes. But I want to engage you, Sandra, who is a photojournalist and an award-winning filmmaker and writer. How do you say women have fared in the film industry today?
I think it's growing. The numbers are growing. Like right now in Kenya, about 30 to 40% of filmmakers are women. But generally the challenges that people face, you know, as a filmmaker, we have the financial challenges, the challenges of infrastructure, challenges to do with, you know, collaborations, being that maybe you don't have work that you've previously done. So by the time someone will trust you to put you on a project, they want to see what you've previously worked on. And if women are not being given these chances, then there is no way for us to show what we can do and the capabilities that we have. It's especially still low in terms of the technical areas, like lighting, you know, cinematography, and even photographers. We still encourage women out there to take up the technical aspects of filmmaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
CEO, you know, the government is big on creative economy and they want to make a very good impact on it. The question is, why the creative economy?
The creative economy is what we all need because it has all that this country requires in terms of opportunities for everyone. We are talking about women in film. For the past 4 years, Women in Film Awards has been taking place. And this is an award that has been supported by Kenya Film Commission from inception. Remember, from day one of these awards, we've had several women filmmakers submitting their entries, and we've had many winners coming about and showing the many stories that they've been able to tell. When I look at the film industry in general, I'm seeing an opportunity for Kenya to create opportunities in terms of job creation, opportunity for marketing Kenya, because film or storytelling is the best form of marketing that you can have as compared to any other form of marketing. Number two, we would like to attract more investment into our country. And what a better way to show what are the key areas of investment that you can be able to do this. And of course, through the efforts being put out by Kenya Film Commission, building capacity for more filmmakers in terms of skills development, championing for investment in the area in terms of infrastructure. In addition to that, we are also looking at incentives that will be able to galvanize and also catalyze most storytellers to tell stories that can be able to go to the globe. Remember, about 10 years ago, Kenya had 0 product in terms of film on the international scene. But as we speak now, I can authoritatively say that we have over almost 40 products on the international scene. That is a sign of growth. And again, for the country, it's also important to note that with the stories, you can be able to champion integration and cohesion. You can be able to brand the country, brand the counties, and at the same time, create an opportunity for all other sectors to grow. Yes. Remember, when you have productions taking place in your space, what this does, it provides you an avenue to champion all other sectors of the economy, be it manufacturing, agriculture, and service industries. So for us, we are actually pushing this to see to it that since we are all storytellers, let us champion the art of storytelling in a way that is meaningful and it is positive to each one.
Yes.
And as we gear up to the International Women's Day, I also want to encourage women, and as you can see, I'm flanked by women filmmakers. This is a great thing because today in the film industry, not only do we look at women filmmakers as only actors, but we want them to hold the camera, do the roles like directing, cinematography, among others. And this is happening because we know they are capable of doing the same.
Thank you. And that is a good observation. We're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about your film that is A Strong Woman. Don't go too far. You're still watching Entertainment Thursdays. Thank you for keeping us company. My name is Mike. Now we talk about the film that is Strong Woman, Entomononi Nagolo, that you acted in. How did you come about that role, and what would you say has been the impact? Because one of the things that you crusade against is FGM and early marriages.
Yes, through the Filamu Dada, my producer, Cindy Abdallah, she was the one who contacted me after filming, not even filming, it was an interview with Mambo Leo in Kajiado. After airing it, I've got a chance with Cynthia, and it was during that prolonged drought, that I was with Skita together with Biggie, and they shot my video. I never knew will go far like that. I was just thinking it is ile tu kitu ya kawaida. I was tired when filming that film because nilikuwa na kazi mingi ya nyumbani, kulisha ng'ombe, watoto, community. So it took us like a week tukifanya hiyo film. The film there, ukiangalia, it is raw. It is all about what I do.
Yes.
It's all about me.
Yes.
It's all about my family, my community, and that is the leadership tuko nayo pale mashinani as a woman.
Yes.
You are a family woman, you are a leader, and in other parts you are a business lady. So featuring me in that feature, to me it was a big opportunity, because grassroots level, such things as ifiki. Mainly we advocate hata wale wa mama wa mashinani wafikiwe. As my CEO amesema, women needs to talk, women needs to tell, to give out their storytelling. We need to say more about our stories. They are hidden down there in the grassroots level, and nobody anaweza elewa wamama wa pale mashinani wanapitia. And mimi nikiwa mmoja wao, I have talked, I'm an eye-opener to the women from the grassroots level.
How have you handled matters to do with FGM and early marriages now that you are in administration?
It's a hard tax. To me, I say it's a hard tax because it's a cultural thing. And a cultural thing, there is a law in between. So it's a conflict between the culture and the law. The culture believes that uncircumcised girl, a circumcised girl in the community, it's somebody who is not accepted, because in our culture we believe that it's a rite of passage. When a girl is circumcised, she is meant to be a woman. And here is the law, that the law is prohibiting no circumcision to girls. So it's so hard for me, because you are fighting your people, and meanwhile you are a government advocate. You are advocating for this thing not to happen, and then the community is doing it. Up to date, it is being done, but the percentage has gone down. And we have a very big challenge, maybe in Kajiado especially, we people who are living next to the border, because now our girls are being taken to Tanzania to be circumcised. Since Tanzania, law yao hawazingati sana venye Kenya inazingatia. So I still say it's hard, but we are fighting.
Have you acted in any other film?
Not a film, but I was one time in the show, going to a Taj show.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. You know, we are talking about issues, and these are issues that affect people directly. And you are also involved in films that tell things to do with politics, gender, climate change. How has it been for you?
I think for me, storytelling is a major part of our community.
Yeah.
And I feel like whenever we want to, tackle these social vices, we should go back to storytelling as a way of engaging people on social impact. And just going back to what CEO said about incentives to women in filmmaking, our films were part of a project called Filamu Dada, which was initiated by Flav and Diesel, supported by KFC, DocuBox, Media Focus on Africa, Women in Film Awards, So it was a collaborative effort. And for each of us, it was a female producer and female director following a female character, So we had been given the various counties, which had Kajiado, we had Homa Bay County, we had Kisii, we had Murang'a, Isiolo, and Nandi County. So in part of the storytelling, we have noted that whenever we go back to the ground with these stories, their social impact is quite major, because people are now accepting that, women leaders actually have the capacity to go for the elective posts, be it the gubernatorial positions, be it the ministerial positions. So we are not only encouraging women to take up the incentive roles, like the national affirmative action spaces, but we are also encouraging them to go for elective posts.
You also directed the film that is currently on air, that is Ginoa, the rise of Gladys Wang. How was it? How was the journey for you directing this?
I was the director for Genoa. My producer was Wendy Kirore, and we also had, we call him a he for she, because it was supposed to be an all-female crew, but we had our cinematographer, Dims Media. So it was easier for myself and Dims, because I come from a political background.
Yes.
I was the official photographer for Right Honorable Raila Odinga during the 2017 campaigns. So it was during that point that I saw women were not given the same opportunities in the media space.
Yes.
And I think up until now, we still have panels that have more males than females, which is something that we've still been trying to fight.
Yes.
So for us to follow her on the ground and see the grueling task that is grassroots campaign, it is not easy.
Yes.
It is not easy, and I can tell you it was not easy for the politician, and it wasn't easy for us as filmmakers as well.
Yes.
First of all, accessing the spaces was difficult. It is quite an expensive journey, and the good thing is that our character, Honorable Gladys Wanga, she was open to us, because we had that rapport before, and she was open to us getting the stories and following her, from her house, her family, her campaign journey. And when we started following her, we didn't know that she was going to win, we just wanted to follow her because she's been an interesting character, from the days when she was women representative, and she's been vocal. So we said, if it's women, then, and from Nyanza, we need to follow this particular woman who has been at the forefront of change back then in the opposition side.
Okay.
And we can see how currently she has developed, and Homa Bay County is quite making headlines as, you know, one of the top performing counties. And we're just waiting to see how our character, you know, develops. So it was an amazing journey, of course, with the challenges, but I mean, all beautiful stories have to have challenges.
Yes, you know, film and storytelling is a big business, CEO, and we have potential in the country. But when it comes to marketing, do we get it right? And if we don't, where do we go wrong?
Thank you very much. Allow me to first pick up from where the senior chief left.
Yes.
She mentioned that there is a conflict of laws and the cultural beliefs. And that's where, when we talk about storytelling, you have a bridging component for laws of the country and what the people believe as far as their cultural alignments are concerned. When we tell more stories, we create understanding. So mine is just to encourage all our populace to appreciate the role of storytelling within our communities, so that, again, we abide by the law as we appreciate our culture. And that can be fully effected through storytelling. So when you talk about the business of film, I think we must be able to appreciate that any filmmaker not only comes up with a story to entertain the targeted audience, but undertakes to tell this story because they would like to be able to create wealth, employ people, and also have a social impact in the community. So when it comes to marketing, first of all, my rallying call has always been to all filmmakers that, one, you are a creative. Two, you are a business person. Think about who is your audience, whom are you telling your story to, and what is the value of the audience that you're actually targeting. What is the value in terms of the key segment? What key marketing principles are you able to apply? And that's why we find it very important that anytime you are coming up with a story, you must be able to undertake proper research, undertake research to know whom you are talking to, what tools to apply, what markets to target, how to price your product, and in addition to that, to give yourself reason to get to know from the onset the return on investment. So marketing starts from the time you start thinking about a story. It does not start after you have already produced your product, which is a big challenge that I've found that most filmmakers undertake their production from scripting to production and bring in marketing at the tail end, which should not be the case. We must be able to think about marketing from the time you are conceptualizing your idea. As you progress all the way to production, to distribution, your marketing strategies and tactics must be very clear and very well deliberate.
Yes.
Of course, I'm saying this because I appreciate entertainment not only provides us room to appreciate one another, but it also gives us room to provide an avenue to create job opportunities and also to create understanding between the different characters that are portrayed within a given product.
Yes.
And Kenya Film Commission, being a state corporation responsible for marketing Kenya as a filming destination, our aim is to act as a real catalyst for storytelling in this country in a way that we build capacity. Like now we are working on an entrepreneurship program that is targeting mostly women, so that we have more women filmmakers doing like a 6-month program within Kenya Film Commission in a manner that upon a completion of this 6 months entrepreneurship program, they'll be able to undertake real enterprise as far as filmmaking is concerned. Beyond that, we're also championing the component of attracting more high quality productions by way of using technology so that we are able to actually tell high quality stories that can be able to traverse the world. Because if your product is not competitive, then you cannot be able to compete with anybody. So as we champion this, I just want to rally upon all stakeholders, be it the media, the audiences, the storytellers themselves, the government, that we all have a role to play within this space. Currently, technology is playing a very critical role. Yesterday, I had a program with about 100 filmmakers, and we were training them about virtual production, because we appreciate you can be able to facilitate a production in Mexico while you are seated somewhere in Turkana. That can only be actualized through technology. And as such, we found it fit that we should be able to train local young filmmakers to appreciate that space and take the opportunity that it presents. That's why we were able to train over 500 who are participating in this particular workshop virtually, while we had a physical presence of about 100. And out of this 100, Genesis Design Factory, which is our partner, as well as Konza Technopolis, we have agreed to incubate about 12 participants out of this particular team, so that we instill in them specific entrepreneurial skills and technical skills that will enable them after 3 months for them to be able to undertake international jobs. So let's all rally around appreciating that storytelling is not just for entertainment, but it's real business.
Yes. Assistant Chief, if we are talking about storytelling, how do you think it fits now into our ecosystem when it comes to addressing issues like the ones that you addressed, issues to do with FGM, we are talking about GBV, we are talking about forced marriages. How does it feel in all this?
It will create a space for the concerned persons. What do I want to say? Maybe down there kwenye grassroots ama pale mashinani kuna mtu hajasikilizwa, lakini atakaposema ongea story yake, like let me give an example. You may get to a seminar or maybe this sensitization forum. You want to teach about FGM, and there's a girl who has undergone FGM, and she has been reading through the papers that FGM is bad, iko na hizi effects, na akakuwa affected innerly ama psychologically, akakuwa affected. But without talking and telling, nobody will know the story about this girl. Most of them are suffering from maybe the effects of FGM like keloids. But without speaking, who will hear them? Sauti yao kuna mtu atawasikiliza. So there is an impact when telling out the stories, and somebody will be heard, and maybe atapata msaada ama usaidizi from there, through counseling, through kusikilizwa pia. Yeah.
Yes. We are also joined by Dr. Susan Getimo, who is the founder and awards director at Women in Film. Welcome to the program. I'll be coming back to you. But Sandra, I want to engage you on this matter in how, we were talking behind the cameras, we were saying everybody is a storyteller. How do we ensure that through film we make sure that the right impact is felt through films that tell matters that affect the people? It's not just for entertainment only.
Just to peg on what Chief here talked about, we have something called impact production, so after you've done your film and now going back to the community, making sure that the film attains its intended purpose, because when you're making the film, like you said, it's not for me to, sit down in my house and watch with my kids, it's for the intended purpose. So before you start making a film, you have to look at what social vice are you tackling? Is it, gender-based violence? Is it sexual reproductive health rights? In our case, it was incentivizing women to take up leadership positions, and we didn't just want to focus on women in politics. It's just women in leadership generally, and that is why Chief's story mattered equally. So before you pick a social impact story that you're going to tell, you have to look at the community that the story is intended for. If, like in our case now with Genoa, we are going back to the community for the impact screenings. So you screen the film, and then you have conversations around the film, the challenges that the film was trying to tackle, and the successes so far. And if you look at it this way, we were sponsored by Kenya Film Commission to go to Netherlands. There is an event called Movies That Matter, which tackles human rights issues, and you realize that we might think that FGM is just a Kenyan story, but when we went to the Netherlands, Hague, for these Movies That Matters, we realized that FGM is also in other countries, and other people and other stories that we were shown there were talking about these vices. So you find that it is a it is like a web, you know, and my story, you can relate to it, Chief can relate to it, CEO can relate to it, and Susan can relate to it as well. So that is why we tell these stories, and everyone has a story to tell. From the impact production events that we've done on the ground, we do it with women leaders, young women leaders who are upcoming, and they want to know, you know, what's the journey like? What do I need to have? What are the challenges I'm going to face? For some of them, they're being asked, you want to vie, you don't have a husband, you know? How will they tackle that, you know? So do you go get a husband before you come vie for a position? Or you look at these women's stories who have been there, who have done it. This will encourage you that it is something that can actually be done. For FGM, you will see Chief's story and realize that, oh, it is from this story that Chief actually gets a way to be able to simplify this story. You know, she doesn't have to be there on the ground, but people can watch this film, relate to it, and know that it is a bad vice, and this is what we have to do to tackle it.
Yes. Dr. Thank you for making time. And just for purposes of fairness, in your own perspective, how do you think women have fared in the film industry within the country?
I think the women filmmakers are doing good. Even when you look at the history of filmmaking in Kenya, pioneers of filmmaking in Kenya are women. And we are seeing more and more women embracing the practice. And that is where even we have WIFA, so that we can be able to empower even more women filmmakers to take up the craft. Yes.
What can you say has been the impact of WIFA now in terms of encouraging and making sure that women are getting into this space? We are talking about production, we are talking about directing, we are talking about everything to do with film. How would you say what can you say has been the impact?
One of the impacts I can say it is raising the profile of women filmmakers. We have and that is one of the things that we set out to do, because we realize that there are so many women filmmakers, but where are they? We could not find them. And Women in Film Awards have given that platform. When a woman filmmaker is recognized and she's celebrated, then even the public, they end up now going to look for her work. And WIFA also encourages people to watch Kenyan content, because WIFA is about nomination. I cannot nominate Sandra and there's nomination from the public. The public cannot nominate Sandra if they have not seen her work. So even after the awards, people will still go and check out what has Sandra done, and they will still now keep on following the things that she's doing in the industry. Yes.
And CEO, it seems from what Sandra said, you have worked with women filmmakers. How has the journey been?
I think it's progressive. I must also appreciate the role of impact filmmaking by giving an example. We have a female filmmaker by the name of Emily Wanja. She did a very interesting production, Thank You for the Rain. This is a story of drought in Kitui. When she did this particular story and went to a forum at an international stage, she was able to actually find somebody who committed to come and address the issue of drought in Kitui by committing 400 million shillings to actually construct a dam. That is just an example of the value of impact filmmaking and what storytelling can actually do in changing perspective and also changing tides of a community. So from where I sit, we continue championing the need for us to champion or propel the aspects of storytelling on all divides, both men and women. Of course, women are champions in many, many ways. That's why I have Chief here as a critical role model in what she's been able to achieve and what she's currently doing as far as storytelling. So from my perspective, Kenya Film Commission, of course, continues to work with women, and that's why we have many programs that are tailor-made to actually champion practice of women within the entire value chain, be it distribution, writing, directing, producing, editing, among others. And again, as Dr. Susan has indicated, you will find that there is a large percentage of women filmmakers currently who are doing a lot of stuff. When I look the year 2024, about 20% or 30% of films that were premiered in Kenya, majority of them were by women.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is, of course, an indicator of how women are doing in the industry.
Okay.
Because they are able to galvanize productions, involve both men and women in telling their stories and telling very impactful stories. So as we celebrate the International Women's Day, of course, we need all to look at this as an opportunity to continue championing the rights of women and also giving women a voice to be able to tell their story and to impact the society that we live in.
Yes. You know, I'm intrigued, and this is a question I want to throw to the ladies on set. Do women have a unique way of telling stories? Let me start with you.
Yes. Yes, I say yes.
What makes it unique?
When a woman gives a story, she gives out a story inside the heart, ile impact ya ndani ya roho. Na atasema what is there, the truth about her, the truth about what is she's, ile kitu anasema inatoka ndani ya roho.
Yes.
So I say, when a woman say, she say, and she does it with perfection.
Yes. Daktari, do women have a unique way of telling stories, especially now we're talking about women in film industry?
Oh yes, women have a different way of telling stories because they see the world in a different perspective. Whether it is a story about love, whether it is a story about politics, or whichever way, women see things from a different perspective, and that is the unique thing that they also bring on the table. Now, in regards to coming from the heart, I really agree with her because we are emotional human beings. Yes. So basically, even that human part, we also bring it. We also bring it to the table, and we can see with more women-led films, we are also seeing a change in representation of gender in film. We are seeing more empowered women in our screens. We are seeing more empowered, we are seeing more empowered women. And when, as a young girl, you see an empowered woman, you also aspire to become an inspired and a great woman as well. So yes, we totally agree. We have a different way of telling stories.
Sandra.
Yes.
Your take.
The problem with speaking last is that you just speak on everything that's been said, but I agree with them. We have a different way of telling stories. First of all, we will bring the passion, we'll bring the emotions, and then we are resilient. We will make sure that the story achieves what it is meant to achieve. Yes.
CEO, you agreed with me on the first instance I did with that question.
I want to just re-emphasize that storytelling is in each one of us. And I would like to paint a picture. This morning, all of us on this set, when we woke up, we told a story. And that story started by you making a choice on what socks to wear, what dress to wear, what makeup, and all that. As you can see, all of us here, we are telling a story.
That's true.
So that naturally, storytelling is inherent. And of course, women make deep stories because it is natural in them.
Now, Daktari, what do you see as the future of women in film industry, especially now within the country? Evolving technology, new ideas, new media. What do you see as the future of this industry?
I believe that women filmmakers will continue to do their craft. Despite the structural barriers that are there, I believe that the future is women in the film industry. And I also believe that women filmmakers, they're also now beginning to uptake the new technology that is coming in regards to AI, virtual reality, and augmented reality. This is the future of filmmaking. And I believe that even at this point, there are women filmmakers who are actually taking part or taking initiative to learn these things. They may not be taught in school right now, because right now I don't think there's a university in Kenya that is teaching virtual reality filmmaking or augmented reality, but being self-teaching, because these are things that you can also be able to learn from, teach yourself, or even learn from other institutions outside the country. But I think the future for the woman filmmaker is bright. We just need to keep on creating. We just need to keep on celebrating each other and supporting each other.
Yes. Sandra, in terms of the things that you're passionate about, in terms of talking matters to do with gender, that has to do with climate change, what do you see as the future of women in film industries in the country?
The future that I see and the one that I hope for is when we don't have to say female filmmakers, you know, because if you had a panel here, you wouldn't, the title wouldn't be male filmmakers, you know? Yes. It would just be filmmakers. So I hope that we get to a point where it's just filmmakers, it's just leaders, you know? Yeah.
CEO, in general now, you know, Kenya's film industry is growing and it's big. What is the future now? How does it look like?
Very well. At Kenya Film Commission, just to re-emphasize that we want to continue acting as a catalyst for growth. We would like to see more Kenyan stories going to the globe and also more stories creating impact within our society. And that's why Kenya Film Commission will continue championing the opportunities that are there. I know Dr. Gitimo has talked about technology in film production. That's why we want to advocate for more practical productions, because when you have more productions within the country, then you are providing an avenue for learning filmmakers to be able to acquire the right skills practically. There is no better way of becoming a better filmmaker than when you are doing it practically in the field. And we continue doing this by championing key county programs. For example, My County, My Story, My Kenya, My Story, which are critical programs that are geared towards seeing to it that we are able to have at least one big budget production from each county, which will translate in a year at least 47 stories. This is achievable. And looking at the mission of Kenya Film Commission, which is to make Kenya a hub for film production, we would like to continue doing this and putting in place specific mechanisms that are geared towards cultivating and activating as we catalyze the growth of this particular sector. Because this is the sector that will make Kenya what it ought to be, because we believe in the same.
Yes. Caroline, what do you see as the future now that you are engaged in activities that are meant to bring positive change?
Okay, I read an article which say that everybody was born with a blank paper and a pen for her or him to write a story. Through story making of the impact of women, for instance, let's say about 2022, we had only one woman governor. By 2020, 2007, we have one women governor. 2022, we had more than 4. What about 2027? Truth is, what we are doing today, I believe that 2027, we shall be having more than 10 women governors. In Kajiado County, where I come from, I know it will change to be, we'll be having more than 30 women ladies. In Kajiado, we had only one elective seat for one woman since independent. So I believe in 2027, that elective seat for women will be at least 5. So I foresee that.
Yes. Asante sana. Asante sana. Brilliant brains, brilliant contributions. And we are talking about Kenya's film industry and the progress, the challenges and the opportunities. This is where we wrap this conversation. And I thank you, my panelists, for making time to come on Good Morning Kenya. That is Timothy Owase, who is the CEO of Kenya Film Commission. And also Caroline Nchara, who is the Senior Assistant Chief. And also Dr. Susan Gitimo, who is the founder Awards Director at Women in Film, and also Sandra Ruongo, who is a photojournalist and award-winning filmmaker and writer. This is where we end the conversation, but Entertainment Thursday continues with Vivian Dego. My name is Mike. May we keep it KBC Channel 1.
Enjoy the music being played right here by our DJ. That is Unique the DJ. Now let's get into yet another interview. And right about now, I am about to introduce one very, very good artist. He's good at his craft. He is an international artist. I'll say a successful international artist from South Sudan who has also gotten to live right here in the 254. Okay. Mike yangu iko na shida.
DJ hebu weka traki, tukule hepi, halafu tufungue sakafu, sababu inabamba, inashika, wingu la tisa inafikisha, ukiachilia.
Apologize for that technical hitch, but here I am. We are back, and as I was saying, we do nothing but enjoy some good entertainment, some good music, as well as informative and entertaining interviews. And right now we have our next guest on set, and this artist is one artist who has been successful with what he does. He has really gotten to master his craft, and he does his thing the only way that only he can. He is an international artist all the way from South Sudan, but has gotten to reside right here in the 254 as well as in Canada. He is the one and only Emmanuel Jal. Emmanuel Jal. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Niko poa sana.
Uko fiti kabisa. I love that you came looking all colorful. Is there a particular reason why you chose this very bright color?
I don't want to think too much when I'm getting out. I like to wear one color. If it's black, I'll just put on black, whatever. So I have my own style of wearing, but today the pink just worked out, and yesterday.
Yeah, you were just feeling the pink.
Yeah, so I can wear the same color maybe for 3-4 days.
Oh, really?
Because you can have several of the same outfit like a suit. Yeah.
I love it. I love the look. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya. Welcome to Entertainment Thursday. It's a pleasure for us having you here on the show. Now, for someone who's getting to see you for the very first time, has never heard of Emmanuel Jal, you can just tell us a bit of who Emmanuel Jal is and the kind of music that you do.
So basically, I'm South Sudanese, and I was brought into Kenya when I was 14, smuggled from my country. So I was a legal immigrant. So back history, I was a child soldier. I was trained when I was 8, and then experienced the war. As you know, most South Sudanese here, you see them, each one of them has a story. Like 98% of South Sudanese lost somebody they know. And to me, the war during my time in the 80s, it took my mom, it took all my aunties, all my uncles except 2. And then being in Kenya, Kenya is the place that I experienced peace, you know, and started going to school here since 1993, 1994. So I learned Swahili. So everything that you see I have musically, it's here. Yeah.
It all began right here in Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe if you can just get to let us know where your inspiration from music began. Like where exactly or when exactly did you, find out that, okay, I think I love music and it's something that I wanted to pursue?
Everybody loves music, but I want to give simple credit to what led me to music. So as a kid, I always wanted to be a part of a solution. And I discovered something that became a secret in my life that has helped me wherever I go. When my father gave me out as a kid and he told me I'm going to go to school in Ethiopia, what actually happened at one time, we entered a boat and the boat capsized. And we're around 250 kids. Only 50 of them survived. And then we arrived in this little area. Most kids that survived, their parents came for them, and nobody came for me. And that made me cry. Where's my mom? Where's my dad? Nobody.
Yeah.
And can you imagine, like as a kid, I had no food. So I had to fight with the leftover bones thrown on the floor with dogs. So when there's a piece of bone thrown by somebody, I try to grab it in the other dogs. I had to fight with the dog, but the dogs are stronger, they take it.
Yeah.
Then I'd feel sorry for myself that this should have not happened to me. And one thing I remember, I look across and there was an old man leaning on a wall, really broken. And as a kid, I remember if you bless an old man, God's opened the doors for you.
Yeah.
So I asked myself, what can I do to this old man who's hungry and there? So my mind told me, why don't you catch fish in the Nile? So I went and caught, and I started, how do I catch the fish? I don't have a hook. So my mind became creative, and I looked for a metal piece sheet, made a hook. Then from there, I looked for a thread, caught a fish, big one, and gave it to the old man. He ate it. And what that old man told me, young man, you're going to be a great person one day. And then based on that thing, I've learned that everywhere you go, when you have a big problem, look out. If there's somebody else who has a problem, help them, and you'll jump out of what was. And so what led me into music was not because I wanted to be a musician. So when I was here in Kenya, I wanted a platform where I can tell stories more, where I can, and that what led me to become a musician when I listened to Puff Daddy singing a song of his, Jesus My Best Friend. And from that day, I said, I'm going to be a rapper. But not because I wanted to be, but because I want to have a platform so I can tell stories. And you see, like, the reason that made me sing was the purpose, the cause, to be able to do something good with it.
I hear you, and that's quite inspirational. You know, you were doing it not for you really, but it's for the other person.
Yes.
You know, that may be needing to hear some of these stories. So you are a rapper, but also when I get to listen to your music, your sound is, you know, inclines more to Afro house, you know, Afro techno. But you're quite diverse. So tell me about your style of music and why that particular style.
As an artist, when you first begin, you have to evolve. You have to grow with time. When I came to Kenya, I didn't tell the difference between that. People tell me there's somebody called African Americans. So I used to think they're Kenyans. Because you see Tupac and doing his thing, you see all the big... I thought they were Kenyans.
Oh, wow.
The only person I thought was Ethiopian was Bob Marley. So even though I'm in Kenya, but my brain did not expand. I think when I was reaching 20s, that's when my brain began to open. And oh, this is America. These people are from somewhere else. So my inspiration now as an artist is I get inspired by any form of art when somebody's doing their thing, and I learn from it.
Yeah. So you just pick inspiration from everywhere?
Yeah, even like right now in this room, I saw this DJ doing his thing, and from here my brain said, okay, he's doing this. How is it that he's able to bring Afrobeat beat into what he's doing, and it worked? And I said, like, wow, that's amazing. So that sparked an imagination just out of that.
Yeah, and let's speak about you as a performer, because I've gotten to see you perform. There's an event that happened sometime last year, late last year.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful event, you know. You were there, you know, with the equipment over here, and it's just you vibing, and the people are, you know. So it was an Afro house kind of themed event. Just tell me about you, you know, on stage, getting to perform, and the energy. Because right now they see you all chilled, but when they see you on stage, you have so much energy. Let's speak about that.
And when I'm on stage, I take it carefully. People come there, they've paid money, so I have to give all that I can. So whatever I cannot project with my voice, I let my hair do it. If my hair cannot do it, my hand or my legs, or if they can, the entire body, I go crazy. I sometimes roll on the floor. And I allow the music to take me somewhere else, whatever. I don't want to put a limit to where it can take me. And it's telling a story. So at the Coda event is first time Kenyan to see me DJ.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience. I will not call myself a DJ because I have to respect the art. It takes you like between 5 to 10 years to actually grip your hands into it. So I would say I'm DJing right now, which it's a platform where I can now sing my own music.
Yeah.
So I'm booked, like every week I'm somewhere. And I mean, for a lot of artists there who don't know, Afro House is huge, and also for the Kenyan media. Have you heard about Sophie Nzao?
Of course.
She's one of the biggest Afro House artists right now.
Yeah, to come out of Africa, if we may say so.
Like, for, like you have 7 million streams,
Yeah.
you know. And if you look at it, in terms like I'm in the top 10 of the Afro House. One of the luck I have is one of my songs defined the genre Afro House, because Afro House existed in the 80s in all of us, mostly South Africa driven. But 10 years ago, because of the sounds I have and the people were listening to the music, there's a song called Choir. Anyone who become a DJ in Afro House scenes have to know it. The founding fathers of the Afro House, most of them are they're DJs and they're producers. So that song helped in defining that genre Afro House, and that paved the way for me in that scenes. So if you look at it, right now I'm at 1.7 million monthly listeners. But a lot of Kenya don't know wow. So if you look at some of the pop Kenyan mainstream artists here don't have as much listeners as other East African as we do in Sophie and Zao. So I think it's a good thing that a lot of Kenyan industry, especially the TV station, begin to take this slowly by all and pioneering it to educate, hey, kuna hii music ya ushago inaweko na wazungu wanafurahi, mbona we can't embrace it. Yeah, because you can take like, there's one song I want to remix now, which is a Kikuyu song. Twakatia kwa marilo, marilo. Like you put that on Afro House, what?
That would be fire. I cannot wait to listen to that. Let's talk about your very newest release. You know, your newest release, it's called Bile Bile. That's Sudanese for Nuer. It's called Nuer. It's Nuer for shine. And you're talking about this woman who's hardworking and all that. And it's also in line with the theme this week as we get to commemorate International Women's Day. So just let's talk about that as we finish.
So in my culture, women are known as the multipliers of wealth. So if you have one cow, you give it to the woman. You come later, there'll be a goat, there'll be a chicken, there'll be a lot of things coming out of it. And Bila Bila means shine. So it's like we're looking at this woman who's glowing in all aspects of our field, working hard, and also dressing, looking good. So it's inspired by the old school look. You know, when you see like our ancestors before colonial time, if you look at the style they have, the hairstyle, and the jewels that they put, it's amazing. So you go online and Google, you could find all the cultures across Africa, unique in a different way, natural hair, natural look, and people were shining. So that's what brought the song Bila Bila.
Yeah, and the collaboration that you've done with the two ladies is also very amazing. Their sounds are just beautiful. Like, it's such a beautiful song. You can let people get to know where to go, get to listen to it.
So they can go on Spotify or just go on YouTube, look for Bila Bila, or you're on your iTunes, you can download it.
Just Bile Bile, they'll find it.
B-I-L-I-E, B-I-L-I-E, and then you write Emmanuel Jal, and then it will show up.
All right. So as we finish this conversation, we cannot finish without mentioning that Jal will be performing at Coachella. You will be the first ever South Sudanese artist to perform at Coachella. I don't even know if there's a Kenyan who's performed in Coachella.
You never know. Like, you know, there are Kenyans there. If you look at someone like Idi Aziz, he's one of the biggest Afro House artists. Like, almost like over 550 songs.
So you will be performing at this year's Coachella.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I sent a message. I was told to be on standby for it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That must be really big for you.
It's big. You know, when you're walking in your purpose, you just have to keep going, that you don't jump out of it of too excitement.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to look into your camera. Let people know where they can find you on social media so that they can get to, for those who are seeing you today, you know, getting to know about you today, and they've loved Jal, you know, and they would love to keep up with you, where to find you on social media.
Yeah, so you can just go to Emmanuel Jal, just Emmanuel Jal, just my name, and on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on all the social media outlets. You just look for that, you'll find my name there. Our website, emmanueljal.com.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to the show. The DJ will be playing Bile Bile as we finish. That was Emmanuel Jal. You better just head over to his pages that he's mentioned and get to follow him, and also get to just keep up with him so that you can be finding out what he's doing with his music. So Unique has decided to mix things up. You know, he's taking us back in the day and also getting to play us some of the newest released music, and we are here for that. We definitely love it. This is always the vibe right here on Entertainment Thursday. Good morning, Kenya. Now let's get into our final interview so that we can also get to enjoy some lovely, amazing voices. They had teased us, you know, a couple of minutes ago, but they are back now. Now I want to get to speak to Wandere Karemi and Elijah Adongo, who are here with us just to tell us about, they have an amazing event coming up for International Women's Day.
Yes.
We are celebrating women.
The whole month.
Come on, Wandere, talk to us.
So it's our 9th edition.
Yeah.
So we started in 2017. African Women's Orchestra is a concept that Kezia and I came up with, Kezia and Twiga. And we co-founded it because we thought that women needed a safe and healthy space to be seen, heard, and experienced. And the last 9 years have been amazing, and just to collaborate with different choirs, and this year it's Almasi Choral, and also highlighting the work that our allies, the he for she, like we were told by Timothy earlier, that we have men who support what we are doing, and Almasi Choral is, Dr. was able to come on board and be part of it. So we're going to be having the orchestra and the choir and an amazing performance from Nyokavi Masharia, award-winning actress who is making her debut in music this year.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. I can only imagine that collaboration of the Women's Orchestra plus the Almasi Choral. Maybe, Elijah, you can just get on board on that. Just how is that, you know, how does that feel, you know, working with the orchestra, you being, you know, with the Almasi Choral, and we've had them, they are absolutely spectacular. They sing so well. So that merging with the orchestra, just how does that feel for you?
It always feels good because it means that we are expanding the space for performances of music in Kenya, especially for art music, since orchestra is art music and also choir is art music, then that makes the space even bigger, since when we sing we can be heard, you can get the message, but also when the orchestra plays you can feel the emotions in their performances. Yeah. So you don't have to understand, you just have to feel it.
Yeah, which is beautiful. Now, I don't want us to speak too much because we need to listen to their beautiful voices. So maybe you can just mention where the event will be happening, when it will be happening, plus the timings.
So it will be happening on 9th March, and it's going to be at 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and you can get your tickets on book. And we are supported by the Kenya National Theatre just next to KBC. So that's the venue, and together with support from the Presidential Music Commission, who have allowed us to have a venue for rehearsal. So yes, so just buy your tickets, go on MOOC, and yes, and follow us on our socials, Afro Women's Org and Almasi Choral on Instagram and on TikTok.
Amazing, thank you so much. So now I'll allow you to just take charge and we get into it. You can maybe explain as you start, you can explain to us what we'll be listening to. Very quickly.
We shall be performing 3 songs. The first one will be Poor Man Lazarus.
All right.
So Poor Man Lazarus is an African-American spiritual, and we'll follow it with another African-American spiritual, Witness, and then now we'll do a Kenyan folk arrangement.
Take it away.
Poor man Lazarus, sick and disabled, dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cool some tormented in the flame. He had to eat grass from the rich man's table. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cool some tormented in the flame. I'm tormented in the flame. I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cool some tormented in the flame. Rich man dives, he lives so well. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cool some tormented in the flame. And when he died, he went straight to hell. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cool some tormented in the flame. I'm tormented in the flame. flame. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cause I'm tormented in the flame. I love to shout, I love to sing. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cause I'm tormented in the flame. I love to praise my heavenly King. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cause I'm tormented in the flame. I'm tormented in the flame. I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cause I'm tormented in the flame. I'm tormented in the flame. I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cause I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cause I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, cause I'm tormented in the flame. For my Lord, who'll be a witness for my Lord? Who'll be a witness for my Lord? I'll be a witness for my Lord. Oh, I'll be a witness for my Lord. 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 There was a man of the Pharisees. His name was Nicodemus, and he didn't believe. The same came to Christ by night, wanted to be taught out of human sight. Nicodemus was a man who desired to know how a man can be born when he is old. Christ told Nicodemus as a friend, "Man, you must be born again. Marvel not, man, if you want to be wise. Repent, believe, and be baptized. Then you'll be a witness for my Lord. You'll be a witness for my Lord. You'll be a witness for my Lord. So is a witness for my Lord." You read about Samson. From his birth, he was the strongest man that ever lived on earth. Way back yonder in ancient times, he killed 10,000 of the Philistines. Then old Samson went on wandering about. Samson's strength was never found out, till his wife sat upon his knee. "Tell me where your strength lies, if you please." Samson's wife, she talked so fair. Samson said, "Cut it off my head, just as clean as your hand, and my strength will come like a natural man." Samson was a witness for my Lord. Samson was a witness for my Lord. Samson was a witness for my Lord.